Gender roles in Shakespeare plays. Romeo and Juliet.
Against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion! Out, you baggage! You tallow face!
Fie, what? Are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch! I tell thee what, get thee to church a Thursday or never after.
Juliet begs on her knees, asking for her father to listen to her, creating a submissive view of her character as a woman. Capulet says that he'll use violence to force her to marry, portraying that men use violence to solve their problems.
And you'll be mine, I'll give you to my friend, and you'll be not hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul, I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief?
No.
As Juliet tells her parents that she doesn't want to marry Paris, Capulet responds by saying that he'll disown her if she does not follow his wishes. This shows how the father's orders are absolute, and the daughter cannot refuse to follow his wishes.
Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it, should you burden love? Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down.
This states that men need to constantly be above what are considered to be lesser emotions of weakness. Men aren't allowed to fall in love, and they need to show that they're strong and not let love overpower them.
Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid.
Lady Capulet is saying how in Verona, young ladies around Juliet's age are already married with children. Furthermore, Lady Capulet says she was a mother at Juliet's age. This shows how a woman's role is just to be a mother and a wife for their entire lives. A girl is quickly transferred from the house of her parents to the house of her husband without any say. This shows no independence of the young girls back then.
Draw! Draw, if you be men!
He teases his opponent with the idea that he isn't a man if he does not respond and fight. This stereotype remains to this day that a man must always fight, or he is a coward and womanly.
Hamlet.
He will come straight. Look, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. But pray you be round with him.
I'll warrant you fear me not. But sure I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, no, Hamlet.
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And, would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass, where you may see the inmost part of you.
Thou wilt not murder me!
This scene represents how men can be so aggressive towards women, even their own mother. Men can push women around however they want. Hamlet is portrayed as a stronger figure, wearing a crown and physically pushing his mother around.
Othello.
Maybe the latter moved him, for, as I think, they do command him home, deputing Cassio in his government.
By my troth, I'm glad on it.
Indeed.
My lord.
I am glad to see you mad.
Why, sweet Othello.
Devil!
I have not deserved this.
My lord, This would not be believed in Venice, though I should swear I saw it. 'Tis very much. Make her amends. She weeps.
If that the earth could teem with women's tears, each drop she falls would prove a crocodile. Out of my sight.
I would not stay to offend you.
Othello slaps his wife, and she leaves him in order to not offend him anymore, when she has done nothing. Here we see how men seem to be the dominant role in a relationship. Because of this, the woman in a relationship is viewed as weaker and can become victims of physical abuse.
Macbeth.
My hands are of your colour, yet I shame to wear a heart so white.
Lady Macbeth has just murdered King Duncan and is now scolding Macbeth because he didn't have the courage to do it himself. This contradicts the stereotypes of men being brave and fearless, and women being weak.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife? To leave his babes, his mansion and his titles, and a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight, her young ones in her nest, against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom when the flight so runs against all reason.
Lady Macduff is saying her husband, Macduff, has abandoned her and her son and has no intention in coming back because of his fear and lack of commitment for them. This displays women as being weak, stubborn, and codependent.